Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial on SQL for data analyst or SQL for data analyst. So in previous tutorial we looked at types of data analysis. We talked about descriptive data analysis, predictive data analysis, and prescriptive data analysis. Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to start building on our previous knowledge and we move on to what exactly is data. You agree with me, you want to become a data analyst with SQL skill. You need to know what exactly is data. From the very first tutorial, we've been talking about data. Even in the tutorial title itself, SQL for data analyst, the word data is there. And we've also been talking about database, relational database management, types of data analysis. Everything has always been about data since the beginning of this tutorial. So it's good for us at this point to know, so what is data? I don't want you to I don't want you to think that this is a big deal, okay? Don't overthink it. That's the word. Don't overthink anything. I will make sure that I simplify everything. And I also want you to have that kind of mind as well, that this is easy, this is simple. So, what is data? Now, data itself is everywhere. Data is everything around us. Okay, you don't need to go to Oxford or Cambridge or Harvard University to know what data is. As a matter of fact, at this point, the definition doesn't even matter, because by the time we get to the hands-on session, you're going to see this play out. You're going to practice with this. Of course, you're going to be analyzing data. So at this point, don't overthink anything. Just take it from me the way I've explained it. That data is everywhere around us. Data is everything that we do. Okay, let's start from you as a viewer. You have a name. Of course, your name is data. You have your age, or maybe date of birth. You have your address. You have a car. So if I say, give me data about you, of course you're going to tell me about yourself. My name is this, and I'm 25 years of age. I was born in the year 1925. I live at this address, and so on and so forth. I have two cars, and so on and so forth. Everything you can tell me about yourself. That's your data. So now it will be right if I say data is details. It can mean facts. Data can mean figures. It can mean statistics, specific. It can mean so many things. It can mean information. It can mean evidence, documentation, and so on and so forth. Whatever you can say, whatever you can talk about is going to form data. That's data about you. So it's everywhere around us. For an organization that has 1,000 employees, of course, that's data. How many employees do you have? 1,000 employees. How many of those employees are male? 500 of them. How many of those employees are females? And so on and so forth. So each employee will have data um, about them. So each employee will have address, will have email, will have cell phone, will have hire date. That's data. So it's just everything. Take it the way it is. If you want to know more, of course, it could be bigger than this. You can get resources online, and if you want to really dig deep into that. But honestly, my advice is just take it like this. There are so many different definitions everywhere, but you don't need more than this. Okay, just to know that Data is everywhere around us. And you can use yourself as an example and say, what are the details about me? What are the information about me? Yeah, that's data. And it's as simple as that. So data can be all this that you are seeing right now on your screen, and you can get it everywhere. So just take it um, a level further above personalizing it to yourself and say, okay, so what will it now mean for an organization, say like Amazon? What would data mean for them? Amazon would have, or any organization will have so many assets. Of course, their assets will be their data. I said in two or three tutorials ago that the the most important asset or the ultimate asset any organization has is data. Is the most valuable asset of any organization, data. Because everything an organization wants to do would have to leverage on the data that such an organization has. So everything is dependent on data. And the more reason why I encourage you to take this tutorial seriously is really going to help you. And don't also forget that we're in the world of data, data science, cloud computing. All these are leveraging on data. We're in the world of big data. Everything is data. Structured and unstructured, everything is data. And it's as simple as this. So a company like Amazon will have customers and will store information about their customers. Of course, that's data. So how much sales did we make yesterday? That's data. Everything you want to talk about is data, information, details. So let's also now look at the different types of data that we have. Okay. Now there are different types of data, but I've tried as much as possible stay to remain within the scope of this tutorial. I don't really want you to learn what will not contribute to what you want to achieve in the short term. Okay, types of data are so many that we can go into more details, but honestly for this tutorial you don't need more than what you're looking at on your screen right now. So if you want to tell me or give me information or give me details about yourself, of course you tell me your name. So the first type, and you will tell me maybe your age or your date of birth. Okay, so if you tell me your date of birth, that's a date. Date is a data type in SQL, and especially for the RDBMS we're going to be using, that is the Relational Database Management System. Of course, we'll have a tutorial that will cover what that means. So whatever you hear me say now that you don't understand, don't worry about it. We will get there, I promise. So if you tell me about yourself that I was born on the 25th of November 1962, that's a type of data. It's a data type and it's called date. So date is a data type. Okay, and if you also tell me your name falls under string as a data type, and string can be character like your name, or as is called in the RDBMS we're going to be using, is called character variant. See these as the same thing. So character is a string, and the example is your name, of course, and your email. Okay, your name and your email. And when we talk about your age will be a number. So your name can come under this. Your age can come under this as a number. Okay. So I'm 25 or I'm 30, I'm 35. That's number. So we have date as a data type. We have string or character. Then we have number. There are different examples of number. Your age, of course, will be a number. And number can be an integer, like 1, 2, 3. Number can also be a decimal, and it can also be a float. So the takeaway from here is that there are different data types. I only want us to concentrate on these ones that I've given us example, because we won't be going beyond these data types in this tutorial. We'll not be going beyond all this. So date is a data type, like your date of birth. And for an organization, hire date, when an employee is hired, will be a date data type. The name of an employee or a customer name will be a character which falls under string. Your email, all those will be string or character. And then number, so we're going to have salary, for instance. So if you look in the database of an organization, okay, an employee will have name and age and hire date and salary. So the data type for salary in such scenario would be this, would be number. Okay, so just have that basic understanding. That's what I want us to take away from this session. Okay, don't forget that what we are trying to do, we're still going to get into the hands-on where we're going to be writing the SQL, and I will start from the very beginning, from the scratch. So we are just laying foundation at this point. Is a building block. I want you to have this foundational knowledge before we go into the um, writing the query itself. So also, what are the different sources for data? So like this data for an organization, I always want you to picture working in an organization environment, in an enterprise environment. So whatever you learn from this tutorial, apply it to imagine an organization like Netflix, like Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Amazon, Microsoft. So if you're trying to define data in your head, apply it to such an environment. So what will data mean if I work in an organization? So the same way, I want you to see everything that we do in this tutorial. Okay, so that you can have a proper and very solid foundation before we get to the hands-on. So in the next tutorial, we're going to be looking at something else in the next tutorial. Thank you so